Okie dokie, we're going to do our meditation. I want to know if anybody wants to talk about anything in specific. Um, if there is anything coming up for you, and if not, then I'll just talk about a subject of that comes up for me. So unless somebody has something in mind that you'd like me to address after our meditation, you can also type it to me. If something comes up for you, you can just, in the question sections, you can just write it to me. Okay? Very good. So we're just going to bring our attention to our heart chakra, heart area. And we've been doing this for a while, but we're going to continue doing it till we master it. And by just bringing your attention here in this area where also you can feel this transformation or this transition of let's say a shift, a journey from the head to the heart. And there are different ways of putting it. We can also say like a journey beyond the mind, that you go beyond the mind, you know? But anyway, what I say is just words. So we don't want to get hung up over the words. But basically, the idea is for us to be able to go beyond our thinking mind into the unified field of awareness, into this place within ourselves that is very quiet and very silent, the heart of awareness, the eye of the awareness, where the witness is, where the sense of I am exists, where the watcher is. Okay? Again, I'm using different words because some of you may resonate with one and doesn't resonate with other ones. But everything is basically a pointer. We're pointing at one place. And where we're pointing at is our true self, our inner silence, our inner stillness, this still place, which is not identified with thoughts or feelings or the body. This place, which you are, you live there, the real you, is not identified with anything that is moving. Your thoughts are passing through, you know, all the time. Your emotions come and go, come and go. And the body, the meat, is aging, is changing. Either it's getting younger or it's getting older. Or it's getting ill or gets healthy, but it's changing all the time. It sometimes puts on weight, lose hair, puts hair on, blah, blah, blah. It's always changing. So, but we want to identify with that which doesn't change, with the real, true Atman. In Sanskrit, they call it the Atman, the self. That part of us which is always here, which hasn't been born, and it doesn't die. It's always present. And you can feel it. You can get in touch with it. You can dive into it because it's within yourself. It's not something outside of us. It's not something that we have to go and gain it by doing certain type of exercises or changing our diet or changing our lifestyle. This is not something you go gain. This is something which is already here, and we go through a recognition process by recognizing our true nature. It's our inheritance. We have inherited this part of us, which is stillness, complete stillness, and it's silent. And it doesn't identify with what comes and goes. Because you're going to feel good, you're going to feel bad. Things are going to go your way, things are not going to go your way. So it's like a pendulum. Our lives is like pendulum. And when you identify with the thoughts, the feelings, and your body, you're going to go up and down, up and down. And therefore, you will suffer. But when you recognize the eye of awareness, where you recognize the focal point where the pendulum is hanging from it, the pendulum is going this way. The pendulum is hanging from this point. This thing is coming and going, but the focal point doesn't move. It's very still. So when you bring your focus to that place and you identify with the focal point inside yourself, then you don't suffer. Suffering ceases to exist. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel good or feel bad. You're not like Iron Man who has no emotions. You feel everything, but you don't identify with it. You simply feel it when the feeling is passing through you. You're going to feel it very strongly. If you're sad, you're sad. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're angry, you're angry. But you're not identifying with it. That's not who you are any longer. And then you begin to realize that you're really actually free and you're not a slave. Until that time, you are a slave. You're in bondage. And you're subject to suffering. You will suffer because you really think you're your thinking mind. And you're your emotions. Or you're the meat. You think you're this. So this has ups and downs. So what we're going to do is, by these meditations we're doing, is the goal, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to point this place to you. So you recognize this place inside yourself. And maybe it's not even inside. I mean, it doesn't have a place. But we'll just say inside for simplicity of going within. So the meditation's purpose is simply to allow you to discover this other part of yourself. As you become more quiet, as you get more still, you really stay still. And you're just in this position of simply watching from this point. It doesn't matter what comes and goes, you're simply watching. So we'll go ahead and bring our attention on our heart chakra. And as we're in the beginning, when you're breathing in and out, just imagine a river of light is floating through your heart chakra. It's an imagination. When you're breathing in, breathing out, you're just seeing this river of light is coming through you. Just invite the light. Let the light come in and cleanses and cleans up. So close your eyes. Now we're going to throw the mind off by doing our blah, blah, blah meditation. So just simply get into it and speak a language you've never spoken. So we start. Take a deep breath. One more time. Take a deep breath. Keep visualizing that there is a river of light coming through your heart, floating through your heart, in and out. See the light. With every breath you take. So the next meditation is going to be a laughing meditation. As you have your eyes closed, your attention on your heart, we're going to be laughing. your heart chakra. Breathe in and out from your heart. See the light. Invite the light. Let the light in. Allow the light to come and illuminate you. Now you may want to repeat after me. Put your hands on your heart and repeat after me. And really mean it when you're saying this. Really, really say this wholeheartedly with all your being. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
Ah. One more time. Take a deep breath. Think into your heart chakra. Breathe in and out. Expand your heart. Expand the light. Just see the light has taken you over. See the light has taken you over. And repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 Yes. is a great opportunity for us to drop our self anger or hatred and really accept ourselves for who we are, as we are. And loving ourselves, opportunity to forgive yourself and forgive everybody else. Dropping the old, going through a shedding process of old skin comes off, so the new can be born, the new you. Simply by loving yourself and accepting yourself and saying yes to love, yes to light, yes to the divine presence. Next meditation we're going to be doing is we're going to be standing up. This is going to be the shaking meditation. We'll be shaking and making noises. The same thing, your attention is on your heart. When you're situated, you just close your eyes, and we're going to be shaking and making noises. So we start. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Yes. Think into your heart. Feel the love which is here. Feel the presence. Feel the presence of God, the presence of the Spirit, which is here right now. And it's surrounding you. It dances around you. It plays around you. It's here right now. And it's coming from your own heart. Recognize the presence here right now. Your own being, your own juice, your own love, your own light. It's all coming from your own heart. And repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
One more time. Deep breath. Bring your attention on your heart. Feel the presence. Feel the being. Your majestic presence, your divine self, your beautiful self. We're going to do the Mickey Mouse version of I love myself. 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 I love everybody. I love everybody. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive everybody. I forgive everybody. Because I'm loved. Because I'm loved. Because I'm light. Because I'm light. Because I'm God. Because I'm God. That's why I love myself. That's why I love myself. And I forgive myself. And I forgive myself. I say yes to love. I say yes to love. Yes to love. Yes to love. Yes. You can go back to your seats and go back to your meditation. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your heart and just sink into this space. Slowly, slowly come back. Come back here. So this whole meditation process, its idea is to pointing out, as I mentioned earlier, pointing out. It's a pointer. Pointing out to this place. Pointing out to this silent part of yourself. If you feel any joy, if you feel quiet, if you feel blissed out, all of this is coming from yourself. And it's because you were able to go beyond your thinking mind. When we're capable of going beyond our thinking mind, or it's a journey from the head to the heart, you enter into this place of silence. It's very quiet. There's no thoughts. slowly come back. When we tune in and become more sensitive and expanded, then what happens is meditation happens naturally. It just happens on its own accord. You will catch yourself in a meditative place for a long time, at different times. Eventually, meditation will move into your life, and everything you do becomes a meditation. You're meditative in every action, every speech, every interaction that you have. Your meditation moves into it. We're tuning ourselves, getting ourselves ready for the real meditation in our life. What we're doing now is not the real meditation. Everything we're doing now, it's preparation for meditation. The actual meditation is going to be in your everyday action. However you're living your life, whatever you're doing, whether you're driving, you're shopping, you're cooking, you're making love, you're fighting, you're screaming at somebody, you're crying. Your real meditation will be there in everyday life. This is preparation for meditation. We're getting ourselves prepared for that. It's like when you go to a classical Sufi or Indian musicians, and the musicians come an hour before the concert and they start tuning their instruments. They're tuning the sitar, the flute, the whatever instrument they're playing, they're going to be tuning it for 1 hour before they start their music. That tuning in is not the music. They haven't started it yet. They're just tuning their instruments. What we're doing also, we're tuning ourselves in. And what we're doing with these so-called meditations, it's really, I'm helping you, preparing you for the real meditation, which is going to be in your every moment life. Everything you will do, it will come out of the silent place. You will be operating from a very still and silent place. Like inside you is very still. And it's very silent. There's no movements. You may be walking, doing this, laughing, shouting, running around, do whatever you do, but it's coming from stillness. That's very different than when you're operating from your mind. They're two different things. You can still be doing the same action as you were doing before, but when you're operating from a silent, still place, is different than when you're operating from a chaotic mind, a busy mind, which is identified with the world. A mind that believes this world that you see is real. You think it's real. Therefore, its problems, its disease, its famine, its ups and downs, and everything becomes very real. But when you move into this place inside yourself, which is very quiet, Your body still lives in this world, but your awareness and your consciousness has arisen above it. And your operation comes from a different place. It comes from a very still and silent place, and your movements coming from this meditative place. And then you don't miss anything. You know, when you're looking, when you're doing things, when you're walking on the street, you're in a shopping mall, you see everything. Nothing is being missed because you're not operating from a chaotic mind. You're operating from this place, the Buddha. So you don't miss anything. You see everything is going on. It's completely a different quality of life than the one previously we're used to living. The quality of it changes extremely. Because you start to see that you're really living life every moment with whatever it is. You know, in that living moment, it could be joy, it could be pain. It doesn't matter. You're really living it because it's quality now. And then the more you get in tune and the more you start to realize this part of yourself, the more it becomes clear that the life that you used to live was really a sleepy life and you weren't really awake because it's a robotic life. Majority of people on this planet, they're not human beings. You're walking on the street, you're looking at them, they look like human beings, but they're not. They're robots. Majority of population on this planet is robots. They're not humans. I'm not saying that inside, if you cut their body and go inside, it's wire and metal. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that they're half alive, half asleep, and their behavior and action and reaction is very robotic. There's inputs of programs into masses that they've been programmed, and they live based on the program that has been inputted. That's why you can trigger them very easily. You can trigger them to send them to war. You can trigger them to be very frightened. You can easily trigger them to buy your products, buying your medications, eating the food you give them, whatever. Because they believe they're thinking, but they're not. Their thought patterns is programmed too. They're not really having their own thoughts. It's all programmed. So when you start to dive in more into the heart center, you become more quiet. You get out of here and you move into the heart center and you become more and more quiet. You become more familiar with this area and you sink in here. The more you sink in here, the more it gets expanded, the more it becomes sensitive, the more you're going to see connectivity with everything, the more parts of you starts to wake up. Different parts of you begin to wake up. And then the more you start to see the quality of your life is changing. It starts improving. The less you're going to be scared of what is going on in the world. The world cannot scare you anymore. Whatever is going on into the circus, whatever story they're going to play for you, because they play different stories. I mean, it's the same story, but the theme changes. The characters in it changes, the theme changes. It is the same thing. But you start to see through it and you begin to see that it's really not real, number one. Two, has no effect on you, and it can't do anything to you because you're really beyond that. But of course, you have to wake up to all parts of yourself. And to wake up to yourself means you have to go beyond your thinking mind. You have to dive into the heart and recognize it. Starting to realize that the majesty, the Supreme Soul is living here. The Supreme Soul is in your heart, is here. God. The big kahuna, the creator, is here. You just bring your hands. You can even touch when you get more in tune. I don't know who was it in our healing course. Christina, you were there. A couple of the people were there. So what did we do in in the first day? You guys could touch your own aura. You remember?
Yes.
Yeah? You could touch your own aura in the first day. The being, the field which is here, you can just feel your being. And then what happens when you become quiet? Like what happened now when we did this meditation? Peace came, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Peace came. We became very quiet. And when you become quiet and peace comes, it also comes with bliss. There's joy. You have this sense of bliss. You're blissed out. You're just like intoxicated in this silent place. And you don't really want to come out of it. I mean, I didn't really want to talk. So, because it's just so yummy and so juicy to come to this place within yourself that even talking is going to create disturbance. You just want to be there. But this place that I'm directing you to it, it's in yourself. It's your own presence. So we come into our own presence, we become in touch and in tune with our majestic self, with our divine self, with the Supreme Soul, which runs into everybody's hearts. You know, it's like one electricity, the same electricity that is turning. I can use my refrigerator, I can use the oven, the lights, power the computer. This electricity runs in the king and queens of Denmark, in Copenhagen, if they're using their own electricity in their home using appliances, it's the same electricity that runs in their home as well as runs here. It's the same thing with the Supreme Soul. It's one living soul runs through everybody's heart. Equally, you have as much God in you as anyone else. But we have been conditioned to not recognize this. So therefore, by not recognizing it, then we don't love ourselves. We start having judgments about ourselves, that we're not good enough, we're not loved enough, something's missing because we're stuck here thinking too much. But when we start doing this work, and then you sink in to your heart, you begin to really feel like, wow, this is really like yummy. And this doesn't have any name to it. It's formless, it's limitless, It's always here. You have access to your own self all the time. Any moment that you want, you can meet yourself. But it's not a mental process. It's not something that you have to really go through a mental process to get there. It's simply here. You're simply being. This is what we're learning. Simply being in this place. And slowly learning not to identify with our passing thoughts, our passing emotions, and the meat. We're slowly learning not to identify with it. And bringing our identification to the very center, to the focal point, here or here. And then you see there is no movement in their place. You can stay very still. When I talk about being still, this is what I mean. I use an example. And for example, let's say, when things go our way, we're happy. And it's very easy to make these statements. Oh, I'm always happy, all is well, life is really good. Yeah, because things are going my way. But can you maintain that level? Really, truthfully, all is well, life is good. Can you maintain that place when things don't go your way? When you come home one evening and there's your lover, there's your boyfriend, there's your girlfriend, she sits with you, and then she says, or he says, you know what? I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm in love with another man. Or I'm in love with another woman. Can you stay in your center, or are you going to just tilt? Are you going to identify with this event, an outside event? Someone is pulling the plug on you, and are you going to just go crazy and crash? Because now you're encountering an event which is not going your way. So what do most people do? They're here, they're very happy, and wow, they go from one extreme to another extreme. In a matter of moments, you become miserable. Your life is over, crying out, blah, 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 trying to talk him into not leaving you. What happened? You betray me, blah, 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 blah. Or can you learn to be still, be in your stillness? You're identifying with this place. You have found this place inside yourself, which is very still. And that's where you're identifying with, not what is coming and going. Another example, you go see your doctor, they do some examinations, they took some biopsy, and then they call you back a week after, they come and you need to come back in. You go back in there and they have bad news for you. Sorry, you have a brain tumor and you're going to live for 3 more months. What do most people do? They crash. Most people who identify to their body, they identify to the world, they think all of this thing is real, then they crash from one part of the pendulum swings. All of a sudden, it's swinging from one side, it goes to the other one. It swings. And that's how life is. The pendulum is always swinging. It's always swinging. There's a period that everything is going your way. There's a period things don't go your way. And then it goes. You have money, you don't have money. You have love, you lose love. You have friends around you, you lose your friends. Your body is young and vibrant, and then eventually gets old and sick. But that's the nature of this dimension. It's in the third dimension. It's a dimension of duality. It's in a constant fluke, and it comes and goes, and it has got its opposites. So where is the master? Where is the enlightened? Where is the awakened being? Someone who's awake, they have realized themselves fully. They have awakened. What does that mean? It means they're not identified with what is coming and going, whether it's thoughts, emotions, the meat, or other people, or possessions. You have home and money and assets and retirement money. How many people do you know that they lost everything? And then what did they do? They went and committed suicide because they lost everything. Or they became alcoholic or drug addict, or they ended up on the streets. You know people who lost their assets and they also lost their life. But the awakened one, the Buddha, would never do that. The Buddha can own a castle and millions of dollars and everything and lose everything and still in this place. Its happiness is not depending on the objects and things that he gains or he loses, because he has discovered the real happiness within himself through recognizing that he is complete, he is God, he is that, and his mind is quiet. And this is what we're going to do. I'm determined to show you that you're the Buddha. So you find your inner treasure. You find this place and become free. Anything less than that, it's not worth it to settle for it in this life, because you will lose it. And the quickest way to get to this place is ultra simple. And I've been sharing it with you guys over and over and over, and I will keep sharing it with you over and over and over. Be quiet. Practice silence. Practice quietness. Go beyond your mind. Dive into the silent place within yourself. And every time you do that, it becomes very clear that you are free. You get caught into your own mind, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to suffer. There's no way out. Like the rest of the humanity. Majority of the people on the planet, they don't enjoy anything, you know? They don't really enjoy it. As soon as they get something, they want something else. As soon as they find a location, they're thinking of someplace else. They can't really hang out in here and now and be happy with it. And they live in fears, all kinds of fears. Fears of disease, of terrorism, of, you know these people. You've been there yourself. But you also know a lot of these people that you encounter in daily life, how afraid they are. No, we don't want that. We want to be free. Free and vibrant. And that's very easy to come to. It's simple. You be quiet. You learn to be silent. You move from here to here. And you identify with this still place within yourself. You know, you may go to work tomorrow and you go to work tomorrow, your boss calls you in and says, oh, come over here to my office. I need to talk to you. And they tell you, we need to let you go. You're fired. All of a sudden, you know, you had just bought a house, you have a big mortgage, you just bought a big car, and you just panic in your head. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? Ah! But a master is just going to stay really still. They're going to tell them you're fired. They're just very still. They're not going to react to it. And if reaction happens, it comes from stillness. Now, when I say that when you find this place, it does not mean that you're going to be a stupor and you're not like never reacting to anything. No, you will be, your actions come from a very still and silent place. Slowly, slowly come back. Welcome to yourself. If you feel peace and bliss and love, quietness, this is yourself. You're meeting your divine presence, which is always here. You have traveled from your mind to your heart, where it's quiet. Where there is no story. The troubles of world and your problems, everything disappears when you just go back into the center of yourself. As simple as that. You know? As simple as that. You don't have to change your diet, your hairstyle. You don't have to go to Tibet or India. You just become quiet. And you meet yourself. You meet the big kahuna. You meet the majestic self. Every time you become quiet. Every time you come back to the center of yourself. And everything else disappears. So stay here. Don't leave home. Stay at home. Stay in this place. Don't get out. Don't get lost in this thing. What does this mean? What does that mean? Blah, 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 blah. Just come back here in this place. It's safe. It's quiet. There's no story. And you feel the presence very strongly. That's that which you are. Yourself. So if anybody would like to share anything with us, you're welcome to. Any questions? Anything anybody would like to say? Or coming to the end of our webinar.
Mother, I have a question for you.
Very powerful.
Mother, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Earlier on this webinar, you were talking about that different parts of us awakes differently. Can you say something about that at the different times?
Yeah, it's just when you're in this process.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I say different parts of you, I'm not certainly referring to like this area or this area or this area. It's like there's different layers.
Yeah. Okay.
We have these layers. That these layers begin to awaken. As we go deeper in this work, we sink in. It's like you're a diver. You're diving under the water.
Mm.
Okay, this work, what we're doing, is I'm not giving you a brand new set of teachings. I'm not loading you up with another sets of concepts. Okay? I'm taking the concepts away. It's very direct. It only speaks about being quiet. Means leaving all teachings behind, leaving all concepts, all ideas, all talks, everything behind, and just going straight to silence. And the mind will come and say, but what about this? Or what about that? And da 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 da. Oh, but Krishnamurti said this. Osho said that. Da 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 da. You leave everything, all the teachings, everything you know, away. And you just dive into this place, which is silent and quiet. There's no thoughts. And as you're doing it, parts of you start, as you're just going down in this journey, you see like different parts of you starts to wake up.
Yeah, I
But
see.
if I tell you this part or that part, it's going to be food for your mind, because your mind is going to go and see, well, what about this part? What about that part? So then I have trapped you into another set of concepts.
Yeah, I understand.
You have already experienced that in past 1 year we have been working together. So many parts of you have awakened.
Yeah, it has.
Right. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I understand that.
Yeah. So I think you, but this example has been more, this last part I said has been more than what I said earlier, because you can see you're waking up to yourself by recognizing old patterns, traumas, things that are running into the mind and keeping you captive and in bondage and keeping you in this place of suffering. They have awakened and you have freed yourself from these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. About this getting into the heart.
I can't hear you very well. Can you talk louder, please?
Yeah. What about now?
Okay,
No?
it's better.
Yeah. When you go through the day in your daily life, how can you best keep in touch with your heart? Does it make sense?
When you're going through your daily life, how can you, I didn't hear that last part.
Keep in touch with your heart.
Keep in touch with your heart.
Yeah. Right. The working mind is different than the monkey mind. The working mind is that which you need to use for operating things. So you know when you get caught into your monkey mind. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the part you need to be aware of and not getting caught into it. Not the working mind. So you're trying to book a ticket to go to another city, or you're trying to figure out taking your courses at the university, classes, things like that. That you're using your working mind to figure things out. But then when you get caught into the monkey mind, then it gets you into trouble.
Yeah.
And operating from this place, answering your question, is being aware that when you get caught into your monkey mind, you understand what I mean by the monkey mind?
Yeah, like routines.
No, the monkey mind is like, you're here, you're saying, I should have been there. You're there, you're with this person, you're thinking you're missing something if you were with someone else. You go here for lunch, you're thinking you should have been someplace else. The monkey mind is always bringing this duality.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so you can identify that you're in the monkey mind. By identifying it, it just brings you back into your center, because what happens is the more you become meditative, the more you get in touch with your center, the more magic, I call it magic, but it's not even the right word. This power, this presence takes over. And you start operating your daily life from this place. It's not even something you think about it. It happens automatically. The more you become quiet, the more you get out of your head, the more you practice to identify with your silence, with your center, the more this part takes over in your daily life. You operate from this place. You're not thinking about that you're operating from this place. This place takes over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds
It
good.
will all gonna make sense. Just
Yeah.
hang in there for a few weeks. It's all gonna fall into pieces for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Takes a little bit time. But I think you're pretty smart. You're gonna get it very quickly. I mean, you know most of the things I say, but this is a different formatting, and this is maybe a different kind of a teaching, because it's not about adding up another like set of teachings on top of the other ones. We're kind of like rejecting everything. We're just going to go into being quiet and operating from that place.
Okay. I will.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So I don't know if I really, if I make sense or not. Maybe, yeah, yeah,
Me,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
yeah. That's been my experience. The more I became quiet, the more I started to see that there is this other part of me, this higher self takes over, and I don't need to know how I'm going to be doing things during the day, or how I'm going to plan on my return to Scandinavia. Where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? All of a sudden, this thing takes over and puts everything together. Everything falls into pieces as I'm getting close to whatever I have to do. So I'm in this place that I'm trusting that everything, sometimes I can see something in the future, or I can really feel like I want to do this or I want to do that. I have a very good feeling for it. Sometimes I have no feeling for anything of how I'm going to accomplish something. Like, for example, I give you an example, okay? So maybe that helps. I come to Scandinavia 2 times a year, and events that we have already set up the dates and everything a few months before. But a lot of times with where I'm staying, the flight, the hotel, or accommodation, a lot of times I have to wait till almost the last minute before it happens. If I try to do it earlier, it just would not happen. Or I have no juice for it. I have no energy for it. Or I go behind the computer and I'm trying to buy a ticket a month in advance and the computer won't work or the website crashes. And I have no energy for it. I don't really feel like doing it. So I'm just going to wait. And all of a sudden the energy comes. And in 5 minutes, I book a hotel, I book a flight, everything comes together. Everything falls into place. And somebody contacts me and says, like, for example, tomorrow I go to Helsingborg. I have a healing event. And last time I went there, I took the train to Malmö and then changed the train to my event. Now I have 2 bags with me I have to carry. I thought that's what I'm going to do this time. But then my good friend Fahang, out of nowhere, he called me and he said, Zarathustra, I'm going to drive you to your event and I'm going to drive you back. It just comes together.
Yeah.
You know, you just stay in this place of trust that everything is going to come together, and then as you go forward, everything falls into pieces.
Yeah. That's what I call listening.
You call it
Listening.
synchronicity.
Listening to your heart, listening to your heart.
Yeah, listening to your heart. Exactly. And you just go with it.
Yes. Okay. Sounds so easy.
So my beautiful friends, we even went 12 minutes over. So it's really nice to see you all. And the newcomers are very welcome. Welcome to the Academy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think I don't see any problem with us having our next session next Tuesday because I'm not traveling and I don't have any events. So we resume to our normal Tuesdays. So Tuesday at 19, we'll meet again. And if you have any questions, I don't know, Johannes, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So you can join the Fifth Dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness, and we have a closed group that we share with each other. You can just join in and share your thoughts. If you have a question, you can write to us either there or you can send a private email if you don't want to disclose your name. And then I bring it up next week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, nice to see you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. See you later next week. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.